All right, hello, welcome back, and thank you for joining me for my relaxing time. So today we're going to continue our Breath of the Wild playthrough. It is about 10:30 at night, so we have about, as usual, 45 minutes to play, most likely. We're going to continue with our exploration. Recently we went to the desert, and we're probably going to... No, wait, that's right. There was a shrine around here that I remember hearing about. So, okay, we're going to explore this area real quick to see if we can find a shrine. All right, and today's good word is that there is a lot of town halls that are happening recently, so we're going to be watching a video while we play about, I believe, the Nebraska town hall, GOP town hall, and how people are getting more and more pissed off. So so we're going to start looking for it, and let's just get into it. Oh, there's the sound. There it is. Where are you? Oh, these guys killed me last time. That's right. Bring it on, sucker! These guys killed me a long time ago. Bring it on! I got you. Where you at? Oh! Not bad! Wait, what's the button? Oh, shit! Oh my god, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, anyways. Oh my god. Alright. So real quick, again, just as a quick reminder, Trump and Elon Musk, again, these are the important topics that we should be spreading around. Basically, Elon Musk and Trump are constantly oh, you like that, huh? Recently they're why am I not eating something? Jesus Christ. That'll probably kill me anyways, even if I do eat something. Made a lot of food recently. Damn, just one bite. Savage, I think. Bring it on. Oh shit, I'm so stupid. Bokoblin. Where's that at, man? Elon Musk and Trump are constantly, or just like continuously, I'm sorry, eliminating government programs and facilities. Oh, this one's already tame. Sweet. Okay, where you at? Okay. Government facilities and programs are constantly shutting down, and departments, they're illegally shutting down everything that they're doing recently. Where the hell is it? Where'd he got? God, this is driving me crazy. I believe almost everything that they've done recently is against the Constitution, is illegal. Just as a quick reminder, okay? Just look it up. Again, everything that they're doing is basically against the Constitution. So if you believe in the Constitution, if you believe in what many people that supported Trump said that they believe in the Constitution, the rule of law, they are breaking the law consistently. Where is it? Under the ground somewhere? Okay. All right, so we're gonna watch this town hall and we're gonna comment little by little through it again. So this guy is basically listening to his constituents. Again, a lot of these GOP guys are actually running away recently. They're trying not to do town halls because they're getting called out on so much of their bullshit. But this guy is here. He's gonna basically answering some questions. So we're gonna be cutting a little bit off, and we're probably not gonna be able to watch the full thing, but we'll do what we can. Remember, spread the good word. Okay.
Medicare or Medicaid, we have to find a way to deliver services to the people that they've been promised. People over the age of 65 rely on Medicare in this country.
Yes,
At the end of the
Medicare.
day, when you talk about health services, there may be changes to systems, but they ultimately should not affect the care provided to Americans. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. Here's the deal. That $36 trillion number is not going away. It is not going away unless we deal with Medicare and Medicaid.
People are pissed.
Let's remain calm.
Okay, so basically it's saying
Let's
like, you know, we
remain
gotta get
calm.
rid of the
Let's remain
health care and this type
let
of
me
stuff
remind
because
you,
we gotta like
if
lower
you're
the
going
debt.
to ask me a question, let me answer the question.
Again, you can never
If
really
if you're
truly
gonna
get rid
ask
of
me
the
a
debt
question, you
because
have to
the
let me answer the
America
question.
or the basic governments have to keep spending money to
And here's
take
the
care of its
challenge
citizens.
with this bad banter right here. The longer this goes on, the fewer questions we get to. The fewer options that people that have driven 2 hours here get to hear me answer a question. I understand you're upset. I understand you're upset. But you're not moving this
Understand.
process
I get
forward.
it.
You're stopping it. I would suggest you put a card in to ask a question. Next question.
Okay, those are 3 questions, so we're going to move to the mic.
We have a question over here.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, we have somebody over here that's asking a question. Let's let her do that.
Representative Flood, thank you
Yes.
for your concern about the deficit and the debt. Here's my question. Even if we laid off or fired every single federal worker,
Hey.
we would not come close to dealing with the amount of money that we have to pay to service the debt. None of us want that. These are brutal, cruel cuts that do not seem to be necessary in the manner in which they've been made. But nonetheless, were we to actually move against the entitlements, we would still be dealing with an $800 billion service of the debt. With all the nations that our president has insulted, Japan, China, Great Britain are the major purchasers of that debt service. How will we deal with that with all the bad will that he has created?
Okay, thank you for your question. From where I sit, 2 things have to happen. We have to cut our spending annually.
Ooh.
We have to cut our spending, and we have to grow the economy.
Just stop.
Okay, we've got
doesn't know
multiple
what to
conversations
say.
happening here. I need you to put a card in if we're going to have this
Oh,
conversation.
okay, he's trying to answer the question. I apologize.
There's 2 ways
Whatever.
to address this $36 trillion problem. One is to cut spending, more than $1 trillion a year, and the other is to grow the economy. And we're not going to grow the economy
Or you could
if we
tax rich people,
don't pass the
make
2017
rich people
extension of the
pay
tax cuts
their
that you're
fair
already
share.
living under.
Like,
There's
you
2
could try
ways.
that.
There's 2 ways to get out of this mess.
My ass.
We've got to grow the economy, and we've got to cut
You
spending.
got to grow the economy by
And
paying
when you
guys
cut spending,
less.
you have to make difficult decisions. And those difficult
Cutting off the
decisions mean
program.
finding government efficiency. And for that reason,
Everybody wants
for the
things to
first
be more
time
efficient, but
in
you guys
decades,
just aren't doing that.
we have a president that is cutting spending. And he is
Wow.
looking to find efficiency. And I support that effort.
We have another question.
Next question.
Next
Go ahead.
question.
Go ahead and ask your question.
First of all, Congressman Flood, thank you for being here to have a town hall. I'm a Democrat. I believe in free speech, but I think we need to let him answer some questions because some of us here don't have such good hearing anymore. So I would like to hear what he says.
Oh, bless your heart.
I am a constituent. I'm not a paid operative. I came here from Lincoln.
Yeah,
And my
exactly. Like,
issue
I was like, oh, you guys don't agree with me. You're a paid operative.
My father, Robert Arnoldi, served in the Marines during World War II. He survived New Orleans to return to the family homestead, to help with the nation, to help my mother raise 6 unruly kids. When he needed a hip replacement, later in the treatment for epilepsy, he applied on the Veterans Hospital in Grand Island. Now, millions of dollars in veteran services have been cut by an unelected billionaire and whiz kids. None of them have shown the bravery that my father
Where
did,
are
and that
we?
the greatest generation has done. Meanwhile, veterans who continue to serve veterans in the federal services have been unceremoniously fired. And I want to hear your comments on providing our veterans with the services that they've earned and that they
Something a lot of people don't know is that every day, members of Congress like me work with veterans to make sure they get the care they were promised and that they are
Bull!
And when you serve in the military,
You keep cutting
we owe
everything.
you, and
They
we
voted
want
against
to provide the
their
very best
benefits
care
and their
we
like the
can
new
provide
like
because
bills they
your
put in to give them more
father, your
you know
relatives,
like
they earned
healthcare and
it
stuff
with
like
their
that. They keep
bravery,
voting against it.
with their service,
Just my
and with their citizenship.
ah.
So, at the end of the day, we will keep our promises. Congressman Mike Bost is the chairman of the Veterans Affairs Committee. He is about 7 doors down the hall from me. I walk to the House of Representatives floor with him several times a month. I know, he knows, that committee knows, your members of Congress know that that is a sacred obligation that we must follow.
Oh my
That
God!
does not
Shut
mean
up.
There are not places to find efficiencies in the system. There has been no
Ouch.
decree officially about what kind of cuts the veterans system could experience. But I do know that we have seen a significant increase of staffing in the Department of Veterans Affairs since 2019. It may be that we see staffing from 2019 levels. I don't know. But ultimately, any cuts that are made in our government have to keep the promises that we have made. And we clearly owe the veterans their very best care. And if sometimes I think if the hospital's too far away, the best hospital, let's get them easier access to health care in rural areas because I know that's a long ways to go. So here's what I would say. If you encounter a concern about a veteran's care, call my office.
Shut up.
Ask for Carter, ask for Noel, ask for me. I will contact the VA and I will check up on them. If I have to go to the Veterans Hospital myself to talk to the administrator, I will do that. Because ultimately, on behalf of everybody in the First District, that is ultimately my job. Here, can you? I will express to President Trump and to members of the United States Congress any concern I have about how the people of the First District are being treated. And if I believe
come on,
the
man.
Department of Veterans Affairs is not caring for the good men and women that deserve those services, I will be their advocate. That is my job.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
go.
All right, next question.
Hello.
Let's move on.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate that. It's my understanding that your wife had breast cancer, and
Mm-hmm.
diagnosis, treatment, recovery, is doing well. That's great. I have a 20-year-old daughter, and I lost Mike Flood have decided to play your job of monitoring the funding of
Wow.
places. I don't see how you can stomach that you did that, because you are cutting the rug out from under.
Very interesting area over here. This place, man.
You are cutting the rug out from under future scientists who might develop new treatments, new diagnoses, so that my daughter, when she's your wife's age, might not get the most up-and-coming research available to her. You are disfunding
Oh, man.
NIH, Johns Hopkins, the National Science Foundation, and you can't put that on anybody but yourself and your GOP colleagues.
Wow.
I would like to know.
That's it.
I would like to know how you personally stomach that.
I get it.
Anybody
I
that
don't.
has been, close relative or a friend of any member of the family knows how difficult that is.
Oh, you mean like that little boy that, you know, you guys just propped up and then you basically eliminated
Here's where we're at.
cancer research?
We're at the dawn of a new presidential administration. The 119th Congress is about 60 days in. We have the Department of Government Efficiency that is looking at and yeah.
Doge.
It is looking at the funding that's available for research, and in some cases that funding has either been identified or suspended or is on hold or has been terminated. I don't believe we're in a process today at this moment to say in any way that medical research funding is going away. I support medical research funding. If it is currently paused, if there is a
But see, this is the thing that pisses me off with, like, again, I'm sorry, these conservatives and these people that voted for him, they got pissed about the vaccine. Okay, now when it's the medicine that you guys need or want that you've been using every goddamn day,
how can you be against a balanced budget?
now you're pissed off that all this shit's cut, but this is what you guys
How
wanted.
can you be against a balanced budget? All right.
Because it wasn't the science that you wanted to believe in. Like, this shit takes time. Yeah, there's stuff that we could probably, you know, cut and, you know, save money
okay,
and
let's
stuff
talk
like
about
that.
this.
But
Let's
again,
talk about this.
the main
So
issue
your
is just the rich
proposal
people aren't paying their
to solve
goddamn fair
this
share.
is to tax the rich. So, let's talk about this, because this is actually a very good point. If you look at President Joe Biden's last State of the Union address, he had a proposal called the Millionaire's Tax.
Oh.
President Biden proposed the Millionaire's Tax.
Oh,
And
God,
let
here
me
we
tell
go.
you, if it was enacted, it would raise $50 billion a year. That's about 200 times less than what we need to address that. So
Yeah.
even your
Okay,
proposal
then do that
to
and
tax
then do
the rich
more.
fails wholeheartedly. Oh, and also, by the way, that would also if
Like,
you're
what
going
is
to
this
ask me,
shit, man? That's right. It's like, if we do it, it's not enough
All right,
money.
next question.
We don't have enough
Okay,
money.
we are going to
okay?
move
Then
to
do
the
more.
box question now.
Tax more of their asses.
Mike, would you oppose going to war with Canada?
yes.
Brave.
Okay,
man.
this
Canada is a longtime important ally of the United States of
there,
America.
that's what it is right
They have
there.
fought next to our soldiers in every major
That's it.
conflict. We share a very peaceful border with them. The Canadians are good people. I respect them, and I want to cohabitate on North America's continent with them, and I want them to feel respected. I do appreciate Canada.
But their asses are ours.
All right, next question is in regards to GPS. Why is there no backup system? And what is the plan with Russia
God.
having to back up?
This is about global positioning.
Yes.
Well, global positioning systems
Oh.
are acceptable to our adversaries, and there is new technology that the Israelis are developing, that American manufacturers are developing to help aid and guide some of our missile systems that can't be thwarted from an adversary.
Yes, I get.
I think that the American people should be. I have the good fortune to be aware of some of the systems that we have developed to protect our country. And if I understand the question correctly, we will have ways to route around anybody that is capable of compromising global.
Oh! I'm so idiot.
And then the third question
Sweating like
is there anything you will do to stand up against Trump?
No, absolutely not. What the hell are you guys cheering for? Many of you guys voted for him. Look at his fucking face.
Last November, Americans wanted a change.
I wanted to change.
They wanted a president that would deal with issues like this.
I'm pointing at it, right?
They wanted a president that would usher in a new era,
How's that?
a golden era for America. And I know there are some of you in this room that are very concerned about our 47th president, but let me tell you something.
He's awesome. Love him. Love
The
that
great
guy.
majority of Nebraskans and those in the 1st District voted to elect Donald Trump president in this state.
Yes.
Now, by virtue of the fact that he's the president, I intend to work with him. I intend to seek out many of the reforms that I believe he's focused on, which is rebuilding our military, securing our border, which, by the way, is more secure today than it has been in the past 40 years. I intend to work with President Trump to find efficiencies in our government, and I intend to work with President Trump to get us fair trade around the globe.
What? What the?
In the situations where I disagree with the president, I will use the opportunities I have as the vice chairman of the Main Street Caucus of 85 Republican members, and my opportunities to visit the White House and share those concerns
Why
with
can't
the
I use the
administration.
bomb
I
arrow?
will work behind the scenes and in front of the scenes and in front of the cameras to do what I think is in the best interest of the people of the 1st District of Nebraska.
Oh,
and the way I
it's
do that
raining.
is I get input from people like
Son
you.
of a-
I get calls from people across Nebraska.
Oh my
visit with
God, I hate
Nebraskans.
this game. I
call out
freaking
every
hate
single
this
day,
game and
and
its
for many of you
stupid
guys out
logic
there in recent
sometimes.
days, every single day, I read every single call that comes in. I call people back when I have time. Sometimes when I'm getting 450 calls a day, it's hard to be very effective there. But
Takes
here's
so
the
much of
deal.
my time,
Just
so
like
much
I
of my
did when I
nap
was in
time.
the legislature. If I need to go to bat for a veteran, if I need to go to bat for the veteran system, if I need to go to bat for the funding for Offutt Air Force Base, or for our roads, or for our courts, or for whatever it may be, I will do that, and I have done that for 20 years. And that does not change. That does not mean that you and I are going to agree on every position I take. But when I need to, I will be happy to
This
stand
one's
up.
work,
I
right?
have been doing that for Nebraskans since I was elected to the
What?
legislature in 2004, and I'm not going to stop today, regardless of who's in the White House.
Okay, those are the 3 questions. We'll go to the microphone.
Here's the next question.
In 1987, Ronald Reagan stated that tariffs don't work, they only hurt the economy. By your inaction, you are showing us that you support Trump's tariffs on our allies like Canada, as well as Trump wanting to annex Canada as our 51st state, so invading a sovereign nation that was our ally. Our stock market keeps dropping, hurting our
Come on,
economy, prices
man.
keep rising, which hurts your constituents that are not rich, which is the majority of us. My grandfather fought in South Pacific during World War II, fighting for human rights and against fascism, and Hitler, who Trump admires and thinks with good names. So,
Again,
the UN ambassador
anybody
for
that
U.S.
voted for
last
him
month
in
voted
that
with
goddamn
Russia,
room.
North Korea, and other dictator countries that
Like,
Russia
listen to what
didn't
this woman
invade
is saying.
Ukraine
Jesus
and did
Christ.
Nothing wrong. This is where we're at. When are you going to stand up? And we're also on the Human Rights Watch list. When are you going to stand up for us?
Yep. So if you don't know, yeah, America's been put on the Human Rights Watch list, which basically means it's like violating human rights. Let me take out my little board. Take out my little board, China.
Let's talk about tariffs.
Let's talk about the effing tariff.
In 2000, U.S. trade totaled 2.0 trillion, more than 4 times China's 474 billion. From 2000 to 2024, U.S. trade expanded by 167%, while China's trade surged by 1,200%.
Oh,
shoot. U.S. 2012. By 2024, total trade reached 5.3 trillion for the U.S. and 6.2 trillion for China. What did COVID teach us? 2024. COVID taught us that if we aren't a nation that makes things, if we aren't a nation that builds things, if we aren't a nation that controls our own destiny by celebrating and growing manufacturing, we are losing to China.
Yeah,
President
no
Trump
shit. But
is
what is
interested
China
in
actually
fair
focusing
trade.
on? Renewable
As we
energy,
saw during his first,
technology, science. What the hell do you think?
as we
But you
saw
guys are
during
going
his
the
first
opposite
term,
way, you
President
jackass.
Trump successfully used tariffs.
You guys only
to
focus on
rewrite-
freaking Teslas. You're like, electric cars. China's electric cars
The only
are
way
much
this is
better
going to work,
from
folks,
what
is
the
if I
reports
get
are
the
showing.
opportunity to answer the question.
No, and then the renewable energy. You guys don't want to fucking spend
What
any
message
goddamn
are you
money on,
sending to
like,
these Columbus High School students?
better infrastructure. Again, if you focus on renewable energy, we could like make so. Oh, there's little bridges.
I don't think your high school civics teacher would endorse that behavior.
Suck my ass.
Okay, so like I said, thank you for the opportunity to come back to this. I truly believe, if you look at when President Biden came in after President Trump's time, he pretty much endorsed President Trump's trade policy. The challenge is, because he left most of those tariffs that President Trump put in place when he was the 45th president in place. He left those in place. President Biden, however, did not engage on trade, and at the conclusion of his term, President Trump returns and is going to use tariffs to right-size these relationships. We need to be
Again,
a
that's not how
nation that
tariffs
makes
work.
things. And of all communities in the first
Not how tariffs should be
Columbus,
used.
Nebraska makes things. This town is a manufacturing juggernaut because of the men and women who have built this as a manufacturing.
Yeah, but you keep
community.
looking the fucking
And what I'm
backwards.
telling you is that we have to stand up and support this effort because there will be an adjustment period, but
There will be some pain.
we will be a lot better off down the road. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that. And for the record,
So you gotta prepare for the mother effing pain.
Okay, next question, Taylor.
God damn.
oh, for Mike.
Go ahead and ask.
I would like to thank you for being here and allowing us. I would also ask that people allow me to answer. I'm here because I'm angry and I want to hear what you have to say. I drove from Illinois. I would like to ask you about the bipartisan law that was ready to be signed prior to the election to finally deal with some of the border issues.
Ah, this
And
one. The
Donald
border issue,
Trump
right?
strong-armed you to vote against it. It was a bipartisan
The older women.
bill
Are
to
That's right.
deal with immigration for the first time in 30 years or something.
What does that woman's shirt
and
say?
you deep
Yeah.
it just so that you could weaponize
Go-
the issue in the election.
Oh, go FAQ yourself.
Will you please tell me what you and Congress
That old woman's
plan
shirt.
to do
Go fact
to
yourself.
once and for all
Nice.
respect the
Nice,
people
old woman.
and the immigrants that come to this country and fix our laws so that people can come here legally and stop kicking this ball around. Please.
Yeah. Okay, now works.
Thank you for the question, and thank you for the
There we go.
extremely
Okay.
respectful
Let's
way
do
that
it.
you communicated your concerns and your anger. I appreciate it. Here's what I would say.
Bring it up.
You know, when President Trump took office, 60 days,
Kiss my ass.
90 dog years. And so, trying to think back to last year, I think Senator Langford was involved in that from Oklahoma. That did not make
I don't
its way
remember
to the
shit.
House. I know there were some provisions in there that concerned members of the GOP Senate. Did not get considered in the House. That said, we find ourselves where we are right now, and that is our border is more secure today than it has been in 40 years. And we're going to pass a reconciliation bill to make sure the Border Patrol has the resources they need to carry out the directives of our federal law and to ensure that we can get as much fentanyl off of our streets as possible with the cooperation of countries like Canada and Mexico.
Yeah, but
Okay,
most
one more
of
question.
drugs
One more
are
question
brought
from
in
the
by
audience.
US
Or
citizens.
microphone.
I have a very simple question for you to answer. Would you agree that your constituents are the
suck
boss
ass.
of you, not President Trump?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
I have the honor of representing the 1st Congressional District in Washington because of an election process.
Finally,
that has
daytime.
happened 3 times now after I became a member of Congress in a special election. So yes, I am accountable to you.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, next question here. What are you going to do to protect our alliances in NATO and persevere
hot in here,
our
isn't it?
democracy in the face of our faces of Putin's aggression?
Oh, very.
For almost 3 years now, every single time a funding
very
bill for arming Ukrainian military has come up, I have always voted to support Ukraine. I support Ukraine.
Uh-huh. I support Ukraine, but they ain't getting...
I've traveled to places in Eastern Europe. I've looked at the folks in Warsaw in the face, and they are terrified that Vladimir Putin wants to take them down next.
Yeah, then what
For
do you
that
think about
reason,
your
I
freaking
do not
president?
feel like
So-
Ukraine should have to give up any land to Russia.
Oh my god. All right. But that's what's gonna happen. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay, next question.
I also believe that the Russians should return the 20,000 Ukrainian children they kidnapped.
Yeah, buddy.
I want better relations with Ukraine, and I want a
Hell
strong
yeah.
NATO, and I want us involved in NATO.
Hell yeah.
Okay, next question. Do you think Social Security is a Ponzi scheme?
Oh shit.
Social Security is a promise that started under Franklin Delano Roosevelt that you have been
Like what
paid
Elon
into
Musk said.
your adult
Elon
working
Musk said
life.
it's a Ponzi scheme.
And let me tell you something. I had my wife's from Columbus actually, and one of her good friends, her husband died early on in their marriage, and they had 3 children. And Social Security made it possible for her to raise those boys with enough money to make it possible. And so Social Security isn't just there for you when you turn 62 or 65 or whatever age you intend to retire. It is there when you need it the most, and you've lost a
All right.
mother, a father, a loved one like that. And so it is very personal.
damn.
It's very important. It is a promise that you entered into with the federal government. I do worry about
It's your
the
freaking
Social
money.
Trust Fund in 2032. It's not going to be where it needs to be for it to be solvent. But that does not mean I want to cut anybody's benefits. That means we have to pay attention to it, and we have to make sure it's solvent. Next
here we go.
question.
Okay, next question. Why did you vote in favor of a resolution budget that will cut $800 billion to Medicaid when people in Nebraska benefit greatly from the program?
Say that 800 billion part again.
Yeah. So why did you vote in favor of a
Wait a
resolution?
second. I got to be able to hear the question.
Why did you vote in favor of a resolution budget that will cut $800 billion to Medicaid when people in Nebraska benefit greatly from that program?
I think what you're talking about is the budget reconciliation process identified, I think, $880 billion of cuts to the Congress, which has a very large jurisdiction over a lot of different federal programs. We have not put together, we don't have an architecture on how those dollars would be cut. We have not seen the bill come back from the Senate yet. So it is premature. But the good news about this is all of you are going to get a chance to see any of the proposed cuts before anybody votes on it. I encourage you to wait for that process, wait for that bill to come out, and we will get through this. Next question.
Okay, we will go now to the microphone. Taylor?
All right, next question over here.
The microphone.
Blood for being here. I've been a DOT civilian. One of my favorite assignments was serving as an instructor at the Air Force Academy. These past few years, I've been working on a major modernization program. I won Civilian of the Year in my directorate last year and earned the top appraisal. However, I did it all. The options I've been given are leave the good life or get terminated.
So stupid.
I want to get terminated. I'm not planning to leave the good life. First, a move would uproot my family, and I'd still be at risk of getting riffed once I moved to my new base. It would cost the government $78,000 to $83,000 to move me because of all the real estate fees involved in the PCS, and I would be near 15 to 17% of my colleagues. Is all. The third option is an exemption that's been made nearly impossible from where I stand. The Secretary of Defense has required me to approve all exemptions. 7 layers of chain of command above. So 2 questions. What can you do, Mr. Flood, to communicate with the DOD and the Air Force to use the standardized, reasonable, achievable remote work exemption process, which accounts for the immense cost of moving tax and fuel emissions? And 2, can you please tell our stories by our eyes, my story and others?
Thank you very much for your service, and thank you for your question. The best way that I learned and in your situation, what I need to do is you to find Carter Smith, Carter
You had to back up out of my face.
We need to get all that information from you. We need to find out what your preference is. And reach out to you. Do that. Do our best to do that.
Damn.
And you know, one thing I would suggest to you, if you have a situation, you know the personality involved, it's delicate, whatnot, call our office. It doesn't matter if you agree with my politics or not, or if you we can help you. We will do everything we can to listen out for you. Take very seriously, and I
Hell yeah. Why are you so
try this, or how about we try this agency?
Question. Hi, sir. Thank you for having this opportunity for us. My first question pertains to the national debt that.
Hey, look, it's Gigi Mufu.
Say that is your main goal. You passed out flyers about the Tax and Jobs Act, but failed to mention that was put in place by Trump and your party. So my question is, why did you design the bill, or why did the Republicans and Trump design the bill to expire for middle class but not the rich?
Well, extending the 2017 tax cuts is very much relevant to the middle class. As you will note from my information that I have up here, a family of 4 making $76,000.
Oh God, this is just bullshitting so much.
We'll see a tax increase of almost $1,600 if we don't extend the tax cuts. 91% of taxpayers in this district would see their guaranteed reduction slashed in half.
Again, taxes are not actually that bad as long as you're getting services for it. That's the problem. People are paying taxes and they're not getting shit for it. They're not getting their roads fixed. They're not getting good health care. They're not getting child services. They're not getting, school lunches. They're not getting what they should be getting, and people in other countries get. There's other countries that pay higher taxes, but they get services for it. That's the whole goddamn thing.
Next question.
And again, the tax cuts that Trump did.
Sure. Folks, we've got somebody here that's got a question.
For the rich people, and then they don't pay taxes anyways. Like, what the hell? They just keep all the fucking money.
Congressman Flood.
Okay.
Heard you in the last minute say that you support NATO. That will not allow the Constitution but talking cheap. Our president, our
Cut it out, brother.
our vice president, have, and Elon Musk, have caused damage. They've humiliated the United States
Yep.
because we failed them. We are failing democracy. Instead,
Get a little
and
closer to the
I have,
microphone,
I
man.
have
My guy.
called your office over and over, and I have received answers from you, and they do nothing about any of those things. You have done nothing. When are you going to do something?
I'm so perturbed. Oh god. Yeah, like again, you can tell that those guys, those people are
Unfortunately, sir, you're wrong. Because at every corner I have voted to support Ukraine.
These are like
Not
Democratic,
everybody
like,
in my
people, the
party
way they
has.
act and stuff like
Every
that.
single time there's been a vote to fund and provide arms to Ukraine, I have voted yes. Every single time. Not once. When it
'Cause I
came to
know other
supporting
people will vote
Israel,
no, and that
I
can be
voted
plausible
yes. When it
deniability.
came to supporting our military, every single time with the NDAA, I have voted yes. When it comes
But I
to
didn't
supporting
want to.
Offutt Air Force Base, which is in our backyard, I'm there all the time. I have voted yes. My record stands in stark contrast to what you just said, and I think it's important that these facts are in the record. Next question.
Okay,
Ooh, dropping the
we'll go
mic.
here. The question is on corn prices at $4.50. We need
Yeah,
E15 year-round in all states. We need to add value to egg product. E15 is easy, biofuels, and sustainable
What the-
aviation. I think it's just a comment. If you'd like to talk on that.
I am a co-sponsor on a bill to make E15 permanent and year-round. It would be a game changer for Nebraska farmers. We need corn well above $5. There's a lot of farmers in this room probably that are losing money this year in a big way thanks to our commodity prices. Next question.
Okay, the next question I
Goddamn, this game's too
have,
much stuff.
this is a 26-year military veteran. He served in Iraq, and he's very concerned that the current administration is disseminating the ability for VA healthcare, and just wants to know what you're going to do for veterans healthcare.
Again, it's a promise we make to our veterans, a promise that we will keep. Veterans Administration will provide the best care we can afford, and we will do everything in our power
Which is
to make
not
sure that
much.
health care is not only good, but great.
Gotta give those tax breaks. The rich
Okay,
people.
then
If you'd like to ask a question, I would suggest you just grab in line. Okay, next question.
Okay, the next question is, this is to address the federal deficit. Plans to pursue closing tax loopholes versus maintaining 2017 tax cuts.
I'd have to know which loopholes people are worried about. I can tell you that we are, the Ways and Means Committee, of which Adrian Smith from Nebraska sits on, is doing a thorough review of all of our tax policy, and there are going to be provisions in there that will change and modify our tax policy, and to the extent there is a loophole.
Oh my god, I want to use these things. What the hell?
Okay, those are 3 questions, so we'll go to the mic now.
Our next question is here.
Hi, I do want to thank you for actually doing a town hall, so thank you for that. The rest of it's probably not going to be so pleasant.
Like,
So,
praise him for the
first
bare
of all, I
minimum.
do want to say shame. I want to say shame for your comment, your quote that you said, President Zelensky's approach today was disrespectful to President Trump and undermines the goal of bringing peace and that.
Seriously, what
So
the hell?
shame
Was he
on
the guy
that.
said this? Was he
But-
the guy that said this shit?
But, second of all, I am the daughter, the niece, the sister of veterans, Korea veteran, Iraqi war. I have received the American Legion Auxiliary newsletter for quite a long time. For decades, they have stated that we are underfunded and understaffed, repeatedly stated that. You have said otherwise with Doge. Who's lying, them or you?
Well, obviously. Them.
We owe our veterans the best possible care we can afford. I'm going to say it again. It's a promise we made. It's a promise we keep. And it is important.
Yeah,
Not
right.
just to Republicans. It's important to Democrats. It's important to independents. Supporting our military
go.
and supporting our veterans is something that should unite us as Americans, and I will work as your member of Congress to address that. I do believe that White House meeting was a disaster. And I believe that President Zelensky should have signed that agreement.
To give us all
The other
the
thing I believe
resources.
is that you read from a press report, and in that same press report, I said 4 things. I said, number 1, Ukraine should give up no land to Russia. They should return the 20,000 kidnapped kids. We should support NATO, and we should have better relations with Ukraine. That has been my
And
position
give us all
on
your
Ukraine
resources.
from the start. Next question.
All right. We have another question from over here. Here's our next question. Thank you very much for having an in-person, face-to-face town hall. Not very many congressmen are doing that. My question will be about a way you can demonstrate accountability to the citizens. But I have a few
Because people are
things to
sometimes
say
too
first.
polite.
China doesn't really own very much of that debt. That debt grew over 40 years of unneeded tax cuts to big money.
You go.
China is a growing influence around the globe. The only way we're going to counter it is with a coalition of allies working together. We are currently alienating our allies. My question is one of process. You've mentioned that you believe in accountability to the people. You've talked about the budget reconciliation process that's coming. Big legislation causes big change.
Where?
There are winners and there are losers in big legislation. The ACA helped a lot of people, hurt people with like individual mandates. In the budget reconciliation process, will you commit to being fully transparent with the American people by requiring a 2-week period of time to elapse after the final draft bill is created and before votes are taken by members of Congress, so people understand the winners, the losers, and have a chance to give you their feedback and opinions before you cast your vote?
That seems exceptionally reasonable. For legislators, we have to Nebraska for that to happen. I would hope 2 weeks, but here's the challenge. I don't make the calendar. I don't decide when the bills get put up. I have an obligation to vote one way or the other when a bill is presented. But I will take that suggestion to the Speaker of the House, and I think that is an entirely reasonable suggestion. I will say, though, if they put out a proposal
Joe Biden
2 weeks down the road, everybody should expect that there could be amendments along that way to make steps. And I don't think your suggesting that's not wrong. But putting out the base proposal is good suggestion to bring back.
All right, we have our next question here.
Hi, I'm a lawyer and a retired Internal Revenue Service employee for 27 years. I was an estate and gift tax attorney. I know auditing. On day one, federal employees take an oath of office to the Constitution of the United States. Over the last 2 months, I've heard the President and Republicans besmirch the integrity and work ethic of federal employees. I've not seen any Republicans stand up for the hardworking federal workforce. Doge, Elon Musk, and the President, as well as the Republicans, are looking for waste, fraud, and abuse. None of the members of Doge are auditors. If they were, they would review data, arrive at preliminary determinations, ask questions, and make a final determination. If the process was being done correctly, we wouldn't have the hiring, firing, rehiring, firing, rehiring. There needs to be a thoughtful analysis of how we're doing these cuts. Sure, there's waste, but the way they're going about it, they're cutting people, and there's no plan for transfer of knowledge. So my question is, why are we allowing an unelected person, Elon Musk, to make decisions on our government agencies?
Here we go.
And why are we giving a tax break to the people making over $1 million while harming the average citizen and those who need the most, affected the most?
Hey, Taylor, would
Yes.
you do me a favor and paraphrase? And I had trouble hearing the left.
Why are we allowing Elon Musk to make these decisions? And why are we making tax cuts when we have a deficit like this for the people making over $1 million?
I want to reduce the burden on middle-class taxpayers. That's why I'm supporting the extension of the 2017 tax cuts. As it relates, to the conversation we're having
So
today.
tired of these
about
people that got
government
tax cuts. Yes,
I get it. There's a lot of people in this room.
I understand
that
tax
don't
cuts. Yes,
support
the problem is the people at the
But
top.
for the
aren't taking
first
a fair share.
time, we are making some progress identifying places that we can reduce the budget, and this is something we have to do as a country, as a nation. This doesn't go away unless we deal with the spending.
We have to take away your health care. God damn it. There's just nothing else we can do.
Next question.
How about tax rich people,
Okay,
make them pay?
we'll go back to
What the hell are you talking about?
having
Doesn't make any
questions from the
sense.
box. Let's see here. How will you protect Medicaid and Medicare from all the proposed budget cuts? Same question. Let's try a different one. Social Security is very important for
I've never
seniors
been
and
here,
others.
huh?
Have you and Congress considered increase the age of eligibility, increase rate of payroll from 1 to 1.5%, and increase wages subject to tax? These could increase life
What's
of
this?
Social Security.
Well, I think we've talked a lot about Social Security, so let me focus on the first part of that question, which is Medicare and Medicaid. I was in the legislature for 10 years. I was the speaker for 6. And every single year, I dealt with situations where we were making changes to our state Medicaid program. And every single time I engaged in that process. One time we had a $1 billion shortfall, and I worked the better part of a year coordinating all of our 14 standing committees on figuring out how to navigate balancing our state's budget. And I can tell you the only way to do that, and this is the way I will operate on your behalf in Washington, is to sit down with the people that are affected by any of the proposed changes and find out, first and foremost, how those proposed changes would affect them,
Sit down,
the
put my feet
vulnerable,
up.
or the people they serve. I did that very successfully and navigated those waters. I am
Coffee,
meeting with the
do
Nebraska Hospital
absolutely nothing.
Association. I'm meeting with medical providers. I'm meeting with the people that do services for the mentally ill or the vulnerable. I am working with the people that run some of our most important behavioral health services in the capital city right now, trying to understand what this could look like. So I am at the table. I am sitting down with the people that
I've never
provide
been
these
here.
services to some of our state's most
Wonder
vulnerable,
what
and I
the-
will work with them in good faith to navigate all of this. And
Muy
ultimately,
cool.
I will vote on what's in the best interest that I can find for the people of the 1st District after doing my homework, and that's the way the process should work. Next question.
Okay, another question is, what are you doing to stop the activities of unelected and unconfirmed Elon Musk?
Ooh.
Well, first of all, I think it's important to note that every agency, for the most part, has a
Elon Musk
cabinet
is a very
secretary
handsome
that's
man.
ultimately responsible.
And
The
me
executive
being a
branch,
beta
by
male,
and
there's
through
absolutely
President
nothing I can
Trump,
do against
has
such a
said
strong alpha.
the ultimate responsibility for those agencies rests with the cabinet secretary and then ultimately with the president and the vice president of the United States.
What?
I know you disagree with what Mr. Musk is doing. I know you disagree
It's
with the
against
way
the
this is
goddamn
rolling
law.
out, but this is the process that we are using to find waste, fraud, and abuse. Next question.
Ooh.
We're getting a lot of similar questions that you've already answered. So here's one. You've stated that in the arena of sports, Republicans will continue to fight for the next generation of women. And how are you doing that?
Well, first and foremost, to protect the rights of women, we have to make sure that we keep boys out of women's sports.
Yes. Not important.
And an overwhelming majority of Americans believe that is and should be the case.
Yeah, because they were tricked into thinking that's freaking
Right,
that,
thank you.
like,
We will
that-
go to the mic.
That
All right,
important.
our next question is here.
Okay, I did want to thank you to start
Yeah, and
with
with
for
this
having this town
polite-
hall. I know, congressional leadership didn't want you to, so I appreciate that. But I actually want to talk more about Elon Musk. So, why is Elon Musk a better person to audit our government for waste, fraud, and abuse than the inspectors general that Donald Trump fired? Because Elon Musk has conflicts of interest out the wazoo. He gets $40 billion a year in federal contracts from the federal government.
I'm having trouble hearing you. Can you slow down a little bit?
Elon Musk gets $40 billion a year in funding from the federal government. What makes you think that has no conflict of interest? That he has no conflict of interest? Do you think he would cut that before he would cut our Medicare or our Social Security or our jobs?
I support Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency.
Such a gutless piece of shit.
Next question.
Next question.
Next question.
God damn it, these people are such pieces of garbage. yeah, drink it up, sweaty.
Next question right here.
20 to 40% of hospitals in Nebraska were at risk of closing prior to you voting for the budget proposal that will cut money from Medicaid. 1/3 or 43% of behavioral health services, 44% of all services are covered by Medicaid in Nebraska. This will likely cause rural hospitals to close. I work in a tertiary care facility that receives desperately injured patients from rural hospitals who do not have the resources necessary to keep these patients alive. If these rural hospitals close, people will die needlessly. Why are you doing this to your constituents? Human lives are worth so much more than that stupid debt ceiling.
Oh, God.
I just introduced a bill, I think 2 weeks ago, that would specifically provide resources to rural hospitals and our critical access healthcare system. We have a tremendous network of rural hospitals that have benefited from the critical access system. I have been working on behavioral health for 25 years. I grew up in a house with a mom who was on the mental health board and a dad who was a guardian and conservator for some of the most vulnerable mentally ill people in the community. I know how important those services are. I know how important
I feel absolutely nothing. I'm dead inside.
access to inpatient secure care. At the end of the day, we have to balance a lot of different interests. Number one is this. Number two is the services. The idea that this is not a consideration when we talk about how to navigate
man. This game
our
has so much
future,
to it.
makes no sense to me. If we aren't dealing with this, we aren't dealing with the 800-pound gorilla in the room. This is going to take it all
No,
from us
it's
someday
not.
if it is left untouched. Next question.
All right, here's our next question.
You talk about national security, yet you have done nothing to stop Elon Musk and his little band of tech geeks. They went in and they had read-write access to the agencies, and that is a huge national security threat. I took enough computer classes to understand that it takes like 30 seconds of someone with an unsecured device in a building and connected to a mainframe to wreck everything. The fact that you have not done anything to stand up to him, and this talk of I support Trump, I support Elon Musk, that's not enough. Okay, we need actual action. We need actual cybersecurity experts to go in and make sure that our government is secure. because Trump is in the pocket of Putin and you are letting him continue.
Putin's puppet.
Well, first and foremost, if you, the premise of your question is going to be hard to answer because you've made your mind up about a number of things. But one of the things that you said was that I've done nothing as it relates to access to our treasury. I have, on more than one occasion, had direct conversations with Treasury officials, including the Secretary of the Treasury. I'm on the Financial Services Committee. I have oversight jurisdiction over, as a member of that committee, over the Treasury. And I have directly asked and gotten an answer from the Treasury Secretary as to the access that DOJ and its employees have. I also have confirmed that the people working in that agency or in that Department of Government Efficiency have passed the security tests. They have the appropriate clearances, and they are working under a president and a Treasury Secretary that has, the president's been elected by the American people, and the Treasury Secretary has been confirmed by the United States Senate.
Like young neo-Nazis that are being allowed in.
Okay.
Next question.
From what we've
Next
heard
question.
so far.
What's your comments on privatization of USPS, which will cause a loss of 7.9 million people employed by 1.92 trillion mailing industries? This would cause economic problems.
I can tell you that I've been getting a lot of, well, I'll answer the question in a moment, but I want to provide a little preface. I have been getting a lot of calls from people in the David City, Brainerd area, and in other parts, rural areas of the First District, about mail delivery being very delayed. For my benefit, by a show of hands, who here has had challenges with timely delivery of their U.S. mail? Okay. So here's what I'd say. I haven't studied this. I do believe that for the U.S. Postal Service to be privatized, it requires an act of Congress. I also believe that if this were a serious consideration that was presented, it would be something that I would want the assurances. I have no interest today in myself in privatizing the United States Postal Service, but I would welcome the conversation
Jesus Christ,
about
can you
what's
just
happening with mail
have the
delivery,
government just
because I have been
again,
getting
Postal
calls
Service is
from,
one of the most amazing things that America has done. All other countries, even though in Japan, they privatized, I believe, the Postal Service, which I don't think was the
next
greatest
question.
thing.
What will you do to
But I think they
uphold
still
your
get help.
oath for the Constitution?
Government.
I intend to uphold my oath to the Constitution, and that oath I entered into January 3rd, 2025, and I intend to honor it just like I have honored my oath as a officer of the court system in Nebraska, just like I honored my oath as a member of the Nebraska legislature. I will honor my oath.
Yeah, right. You're supporting somebody that
next
consistently
question.
breaks the laws of the
Justify
Constitution. Yeah, whatever.
you
Shut the hell up.
using your time and energy to increase bank profits and reintroduce predatory overdraft fees.
Well, one of the greatest financial
Oh God, I'm stuck.
right here in the United States of America, and it's a system that is predictable, it's regulated, and it is relied on by the rest of the world because 55% of the world relies on the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency.
Okay.
We have to make sure that people have access to
I hate the rain. I hate the rain. I hate the rain.
all the products and services that they have. What I'm talking about specifically as it relates to overdraft. There's this idea that if we drop the fee to $4 or $9, banks aren't going to provide that service. Whether you like it or not, there are some people that, and they've testified in front of our committee, that rely on the system that has overdraft fees involved,
Fun.
their bills work. They don't want to worry about whether or not a check's going to cash or whether their debit card's going to work. You've got to let the market work. You've got to let them have access to these financial products.
Yeah.
Next question.
Basically,
We have a question
you gotta
over
let
here.
gamblers
Yes.
gamble. Again,
None of the
yeah,
issues
like
that you have
just
on
let
your
people
poster board
basically
up
dig
there
themselves through a hole.
justify how the
Don't set up any
administration is
safeguards.
doing this. I would
That's
like
freedom, baby.
elected officials like you to stop acting like what the administration is doing will do anything to address the national debt. I think what drives people like me crazy is that we would like you to talk about something real. We want you to talk about what is really on our mind.
Oh, you mean
and that
gay and
is
trans
that Trump
people?
is
All right,
using
then.
the
We can
economy
continue with that
as
topic.
a justification for subverting just about every law in this country. Stop. Why do you keep acting like it's business as usual and the budget resolution and acting like his behavior has nothing to do with your job and what you are doing and what you say to stand up to him? Elon Musk has zero data to show any of the savings that he has done. That has been debunked everywhere. He puts numbers up, then he takes them back down. Oh, whoop, there's actually it wasn't $50 billion, it was 232,000. This is insanity. What are you doing to be real with people about how Trump is breaking the law to get away with the way he is doing this? You have an oath. You have an oath. And I don't see you living up to that oath.
What the hell? I found somebody there? Oh, this is that like windy tunnel area. That's right.
We live in a nation under the rule of law, which I support. And at the end of the day, I intend to, and I have upheld my oath, and I will come to meetings like this, and I will listen to what you have to say,
I'm putting my fat
I
finger
will
down.
tell you where I'm going on issues, and I will ask for your input, but ultimately,
Listen to it. I'm gonna do a goddamn thing.
and you will hold me accountable, or you will, I guess, support it. But I'm here tonight to communicate that, and I think at the end of the day,
Goddamn.
we are, 60 days into the Trump administration.
Oh.
We have made tremendous progress
Goddamn.
on securing the border. We have made tremendous progress in getting Americans to think about how we're going to deal with this.
Yeah, just keep focusing on
And
that
these
shit.
issues
Oh my God, I
aren't
hate
easy
this
to
guy.
solve, and it's going to take a process where
we'll take it to the end. We'll take it to the end.
Talk about where the country's going to try and find common ground. Okay.
Next
We have
question.
another question over here.
Hi, Congressman. I'm actually from your district. I appreciate you being here. To the students that are here watching, democracy is messy.
It is messy.
Within hours of being notified of a restraining order by the chief U.S. District Judge, James Boasberg, President Trump called James Boasberg a radical left lunatic, a troublemaker, and called for his impeachment. I want to know, I have a two-part question. If you, like President Trump, believe that the judiciary must now kowtow to the whims of the executive branch, allowing
Executive,
to
judiciary,
take precedence
legislative, three branches of government, equal power,
or
kind
if
of.
you believe that the judicial, legislative, and executive branches are separate but equal as outlined by our Constitution.
Constitution, baby.
And if you do believe that the three branches, I'm sorry, I have a two-part question. If you do believe that the three branches are separate but equal, each with their outlined duties, when do you and your fellow Republican members of Congress intend to take back the power of the purse that you have allowed to be taken over by Elon Musk, Doge, and others who are defunding projects and grants that have been previously approved by Congress, as is its duty, your duty?
Goddamn, I've been here.
An example would be USAID funding, which was impounded Even though it had been congressionally appropriated, you stranded our own people in other countries because you allowed them to be stranded. When I don't need you to yell, I'm speaking, thank you.
God damn this bitch!
This is just one example, and I'm aware that a federal judge, District Court Judge Ali, has already
Let me get
ordered
my
your
point across.
administration
God
to pay
damn.
bills for existing contracts and grants through February 13th. But when are you and Congress going to take back your responsibility?
General store.
You have some good questions there. There are three branches of government. They are co-equal, and they should be respected, and that is the judicial branch, the legislative branch, the executive branch. And I am and have practiced in the judicial branch, and I have respect for judges. I have respect for the work that the court does, and I believe that the court has an important role
This is crazy,
dealing
man.
with the tension that can exist between the three branches of government. And so, I'm not here to disparage a judge. I may disagree with a ruling, but I have tremendous respect for judicial
Yeah, then
officers.
call out your
And for
president.
this country
Jesus
to work,
Christ.
we need to respect judges. The second point, the second point I would say, well, remind me where we're at. That was kind of a long question. I think we talked about that earlier. I said, and I said in a letter to a lot of you, I 100% believe that the power of the purse is in Article 1. It belongs to the United States Congress, and I will work very hard to make sure that the Appropriations Committee draws the budget up and that the budget is the budget of the United States.
Again, the
and that
Congress
once
keeps
approved by the president
basically
or overridden,
putting the
it
money
will
where
be
it's supposed to
respected.
go, and then Trump is basically,
Next question.
Elon Musk is basically
next question.
like, nope.
I just think we all deserve to know why you were sexually harassed a young woman and his own daughter. I mean, the comments he made about his own daughter. Standing this far away from you, I feel so uncomfortable in my own high school. I
Damn.
don't know why you did someone like that. Hurting me every day. I just want to know what you think about that.
I can feel your creep wave coming where you stand.
Own daughter. Own daughter. It's disgusting.
First of all,
we're Catholic, okay?
if you're a student here at Columbus Public Schools, you're very fortunate to go to a school that have a tremendous amount of respect. And I imagine the school administrators here, teachers, have a tremendous amount of respect.
Oh, yeah, Rowan.
People, and they want you to have the best opportunity at education and opportunities in life as possible. And I want that. As it relates to your question, at the end of the day, we need, as Americans, and I'm trying to do it tonight, many of you are trying to do it tonight, we need to treat each other. We need to understand that these issues
We need to treat
aren't
each
red or
other
blue
better,
issues.
but you are
These are
actively
American
doing things that are literally killing people's family members.
Next question.
Okay, next question. Okay, we will go to the box questions. What will you do to support farmers affected by cuts in U.S. aid or by immigration policies?
Well, first of all, we went through this in 2017 when President Trump was in office the first time, when some of his trade policy affected farmers and ranchers. The federal government provided an economic aid package for our farmers and ranchers, and I did that in December as well. You have to look at the long term to make sure that we keep our farmers and ranchers solvent so that they can continue to feed the world.
I'm gonna die.
Immigration policies for lack of workers. So immigration policies for lack of workers if with farming.
Lack of workers because you guys scare them all away.
Or something that we have worked on. I truly believe that as this border gets secure, that the United States Congress is going to have the opportunity once this border is secure and that Americans are satisfied that it's secured, that we can articulate an immigration policy that helps address many of the issues that we have. So here's the deal. We're at 6:25. I want the opportunity to make a closing statement. I want the opportunity to tell you why I showed up here.
Settle down, settle down.
At the end of the day, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming here tonight. Obviously, we have differences of opinion in some areas, but I also think I saw
differences
some
in just morality.
nodding
Jesus
from time to time
Christ, man.
on issues
You're
that
being a
maybe we
bitch.
haven't thought about. Ultimately, I am accountable to you. You will decide whether I do this job.
Okay, yeah, it's
people of the
right,
first
though.
district
You should
will decide
have
whether I do
removed his ass a long time ago, but then who the hell keeps voting for
I
these
will
assholes?
continue to do town halls. I will continue to show up in person. I will be in Lincoln in August. I will be in other communities as necessary. I will treat you with respect. I will welcome you to Washington if you're there. I will sit down with you in your communities. I will see you in parades. I will help you with your constituent issues. And I will do my best job I can to do everything to serve you as a member of the United States Congress. To those of you that are obviously agitated, I would say this. This is a big country. Kids, democracy is in fact messy, right? I hope that you see that the promise of this country is still very much alive, and that getting involved in public service, while it can be difficult at times, has a tremendous amount of value. And you can do things for people that are in need. At this point, I want to encourage you, if you have any questions, to reach out to my staff, which are out there. I encourage you to maintain a relationship with our office on the phone, on email, and in person. I will continue to show up. I will continue to take your suggestions. With that, I want to thank the good people at Columbus Public Schools. I want to thank the law enforcement officers that are here tonight. And I want to thank all of you for coming. Good night.
Okay, when you exit, please go out the exit right here on your left. So don't go back out the way you came in. Please go out this exit door right here. There's another function going on in the school. Please use the exit to my right.
All right. We're
Thank
going to
you.
be finishing it up right here. I could have sworn I heard something.
News Channel Nebraska is more than a news channel.
Okay. We're gonna finish it up right here. Again, it was much longer than I thought it was gonna be for this video for today, but I just decided to finish it up. Again, just the thing. Again, he keeps trying to talk about paying off America's debt, and we have to do this, do that. Again, this has been going on for years. They keep talking about paying it off, paying it off, paying it off. Again, it's just a red herring. The big thing. There's so much money that could be got if they would just make certain people pay the correct taxes that they're supposed to pay. Again, if you notice, okay, we have to cut this, we have to cut that, we have to pay this budget, we have to pay this budget off, we have to pay off this debt. You guys are gonna have to pay for it. We have to do some cuts for your, some of the services so we can pay it off. Yeah, but if it was all fair from the beginning, this never would have happened. Amazon, Microsoft, all those big, huge companies, they all get incredible tax breaks, and they don't pay what they should be paying in taxes, especially a marginal tax rate. Again, what the hell was it again? In the 1950s or whatever, the marginal tax rate was 90%. Again, if you don't know what a marginal tax rate is, it's basically you make a bunch of money. Let's just say for $1 million, and then once you can get your $1 million. You get your $1 million, and you get the same tax as everybody else. But once you get over the $1 million, you're still going to make more money. It's just going to be less profit, basically. You're going to get money, but it's just going to be taxed really high. the money that you start getting over $1 million. You get the $1 million that you normally would make. That's yours. You get taxed on it normally. But if you start getting over that, you're going to be highly taxed for it. It's kind of like, just over in Japan, I believe that Japan has like a rice import tax again, just like a tax on import rice from America. But it's really, really high if you look at it on paper. But actually, there's also I forgot what is like free imports. I forgot the term for it. But basically, up to a certain amount, there's like no tax on the rice. It's just because it's a trade deal that Japan and America has because they're really close to each other. So up to a certain point, I mean, there's like almost nothing being like, there's like almost no tax on the import tax on it. But once you go over that amount, then it would be taxed really highly. But I believe it's like basically almost never broken because, it's like Japan makes their own damn rice, and they're basically pushed to buy rice from America. And Japanese people like their own damn rice, so they don't like American rice anyways. Again, a lot of people don't realize that, again, they hear like, oh, higher taxes, and it's the taxes aren't, again, for normal people, we need more support for the normal businesses and stuff like that, and yeah, the taxes could be lowered a little bit, but overall taxes aren't the worst thing. It's just as long as you're getting services for it, so you're getting healthcare, you're getting your school, you're getting child services, all this type of stuff that you should be getting. Yeah, that's going to be great because, again, overall, again, unfortunately, American people are pretty bad when it comes to their own personal health. But a lot of people don't want to be sick. A lot of people just don't want to be sick. So and especially if you're taught about it, a lot of people will probably take care of their health better. So overall, the tax system, if everybody puts into it, so when we do need it eventually, for Social Security and stuff like that, you'll receive, you'll get help from, again, the country, other people. And, young people, most of the time, there's going to be more healthy people than sick people, as long as people keep, take their damn vaccines and stuff like that. He says everything is going backwards. And all these people are just spineless cowards. Again, I don't think it's a good thing, but I support Trump. Oh, yeah, I don't think it's a good thing. We're not going to cut your Social Security and stuff like that, but I support Elon Musk, the guy who's trying to cut your Social Security. Whatever, what the hell. And I heard there was like, I don't know if I did notice it during this video, but I remember hearing a small snippet of a different video. It looked from the same town hall where the people started chanting, make the, like, tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Yeah, exactly. That's what you need to do. Anyways, we'll finish it up. Really long video. Just spread the word. Just keep watching these town halls. If you can't go to the town halls, make your voices heard. All right. Take care of yourselves. Until next time. Goodbye.